I printed out the June writing retreat calendar and also the brainstorm guide from Abby Evans. So I'm good to go for this month. Hey, hi, hello! Welcome back to my channel. What do you think about my new backdrop? I finally got my bookshelf up here and I can be inspired while I'm writing. I want to track a whole month of writing, and in this month I want to finish my first draft of the Griffon. It's a young adult thriller based in the Netherlands, in my hometown, and I want to take you along in that journey to finish those last chapters. I saw that Abby Evans did this challenge, so I was like, I'm gonna do that. I have a bit of a late start, but it's okay. I've got a whole day to do stuff. I already worked this morning on my previous video that's online already. But first I need to wake up my muses, so I'm gonna take a shower. My muses had a lot to say. While listening to my playlist, what I made for this project, there popped up a question and I don't know the answer yet. Because in the story there's of course a villain, and that villain is a family member of my main character Luke. What I'm gonna tell now is a bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear it, skip this part. But the love interest of Luke, her parents are dead because of the villain. And the villain is a family member of Luke. So, if I was her and I knew that the boy I like, that his family had killed my parents, would I even wanna go on in that relationship? So, if that's not the case, I have to make another ending, because what I wanted to write was that they get a relationship in the end. So yeah. You know what? I'm going downstairs. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee and I will ask my son what he thinks about it. Because actually this book is kind of made with him in mind, because he likes reading young adult thrillers. So I'm gonna ask him for advice without trying to give any spoilers, because he doesn't want to know the whole story. And in that way it's another reading through my draft, and meanwhile I can collect some errors and fix it at the same time. So I asked my husband and son, and they both said that they could have a relationship. So I don't have to change a thing. Thank you. Oh, and the reason was because Luke will prove himself to be a good guy. That should be enough, I guess? I don't know. If it doesn't feel good when I'm rewriting it, then I will change it. But for now, they'll end up together. Then I can start writing for now, I guess. The only thing I wanted to talk to you about is the brainstorm guide from Abby Evans. In that you'll get some questions for inspiration and the practice. It's questions like, describe the moment you fell in love with writing. What story were you reading, or what were you writing about that ignited that passion? How can you infuse that initial spark of inspiration into your current project? The first time I really fell in love with writing was in 2018, when I was writing my book Voorbij de Firewall. Since then I didn't stop writing and I finally found my passion. And I also started with 6 Months for Life by Sarah Cannon. She also made a planner. In that you can write everything what you want to accomplish in the next 6 months, or goals that you want to set out for yourself, new habits that you want to get incorporated in your life, projects, everything you want to accomplish. You can put it in here and journal about it, think about it. What do you want? What is important for you right now? So the biggest thing for me is to write my book, and also a bit of energy management, because I work a lot and that's fine. That's really good, because I had a few years that I was so tired. I went to a few doctors. No one could say what I had. No one found anything an issue, not with my hormones, not with my blood levels. I even had an intestinal examination. Everything was good, which is good, of course, but I felt so tired and so lethargic. And I don't know, I think that's over now. Fingers crossed. The last 2 months were pretty much high energy, and I want to keep that. So, in order for me to not burn out again, because I have energy and now I can go, then I will keep going and not take any rests. And I need that. So that's what I want to accomplish in the 6 months for life. So the habit I wrote out for myself was to get about 8 hours of sleep every night, to go bed early and get up early. Last night I slept over 8 hours, so that was perfect. And now I want to keep that going. But yeah, that's not all I need to do, because I also need to take some breaks in between. What I want to do is maybe Pomodoro style-ish, and even plan a little bit of time off. So time management, 8 hours of sleep, and I also want to learn more. I wanted to speak in Spanish, so I got an account on Duolingo. I need to make time for that every day. As you can hear, I want to do a lot, and that's why my energy management is so important. I want it all. I think it's awesome to do it all, but I don't want to burn out again, because I had a burnout and I don't want to be in that position again, because it's not fun. No idea if you can see it on camera, but I've got some fairy lights in my bookshelf and I put it on. I wanted to be a bit less chaotic in this video, so I tried to come up with everything I needed to say in the intro. Now the intro is very long and I haven't written any words yet. Okay, I need to edit my video. I'm now filming, so I can check that off. And I need to make a few photos for social media. Priorities. First, I need to write. I still need to write 9 chapters. If I'm not mistaken, I had about 17 days to write it. Ooh, okay. But that's without all the weekends. Then I need to write a lot. Oh no! The last chapter I wrote had an open ending, and I need to write the chapter that's coming after that. Or am I going to write it as a flashback from Luke? I guess I'm going to do that, because otherwise it's going to be way too detailed and way too... Oh, that's another thing I need to find out. How many exams do they have in the final years, and how many can he do again because he failed one? I don't know. In the last half hour I wrote a whopping 314 words. That's not much, but I had a little bit of an epiphany about something Luke wants, and I had to brainstorm that before I went further on in the story. The thing is, Luke wants to go to the film academy in Amsterdam, and for that he must register, of course, and be lucky to get selected. My idea was to incorporate that in the story, also for a bit of a tense, because does he get to go to that school? Yes or no? Because it is his dream to make movies. I got to the webpage of that school. I want those dates in my story. So what I need to do is change all the dates of my chapters. My first chapter will start on Monday, April the 3rd in 2023. That's going to change in March 6th. And this also works out well for another chapter, because Luke will go to Amsterdam. His sister is living there and he wants to go there to the school. If you want to go to that school, you have to go there and have a conversation with some teachers to be able to get selected for that school. I think I can bundle the need for Luke to go to that conversation in the school and to be able to run away from home and go to his sister for support. I don't know if it's in other countries as well, but if you're here in the last class before you go to college, you'll get a phone call if you're passed or not from your teacher. So that is very nerve-wracking. I will get that in one chapter as well. That Luke is very nervous to hear about if he passed the school or not. But the whole book he's been through so much. He hopes for it, of course, but doesn't assume that he is going to pass. Yeah. That was my little epiphany. And yeah, now I have to change some dates. It's not a problem, it's just getting better now. Anyway, it's lunchtime and my belly is very hungry and my brain also needs some fuel. Well, for the last hour I was trying to get back to work, but I feel my energy is plummeting down and I don't know what to write. I don't know, this chapter I'm writing right now is a bit of an in-between. I need to tie some loose ends up. In this chapter it's hard. I don't know why, but it's hard. And I just want to fix those dates. It's a bit of a distraction. Why is this chapter so hard to write? Before I waste any more time, I think I'm giving myself 1 hour to rearrange those dates for in this story, and then I'm going to edit a video. I hate this. I just told you about my energy management and that I'm on a go and now I'm like do. Well, my period is coming, so it's obvious for me to have less energy. It always hits like a rock, like you're go and then hey, hello, good morning. It's a few days later since the last clips. Time flew by. I had some personal stuff. We visited some family and there was Father's Day, of course. And I had a few days where I felt a bit under the weather, so I was not able to write as much as I wanted to. So there are still 9 days left to the end of this month, and I don't know if I'm able to also write in the weekends. So that would mean that I only had 6 days left to finish draft 1. When I realized that, I was a bit scared that I wouldn't make it, because yeah, I don't know, I just really want to make it. I want to finish it by the end of the month so that I can return to chapter 1 and make the story even better than it already is. The last few days that I did manage to get some work in, I went back to some chapters that I marked with an eye icon in Scrivener. The rest was already checked with the checkbox. So those chapters were already good enough for the first draft. The chapters with an eye icon were the chapters that needed some work. So I did that. I'm back in chapter 22 at the moment, and I need to write a different ending to the story. I already came up with an idea. And I guess I did miss some important information that I needed to write out for myself. But there are also a few fun things that happened the last few days. Sunday, the 23rd, my husband's son and I were going to Dutch Comic Con. And my son and I wanted to go cosplay. So we needed an outfit and also some props. And that is what we did the last few days. It was a very creative time, very fun to do also. I will be going as Clary Frey or Clarissa Fairchild from the Shadowhunters. And it's not finished yet, but my husband printed out a stele. This stele is just a fantasy because I glued on some random runes. So I still need to paint this. We also printed out a seraph blade. And I still need to polish that and paint it, and I hope it's all done by Sunday before we're going. For today I wanted to end up chapter 22, and in this chapter I want to give Luke some information about the villain in this story. But the fun thing that I did in this chapter is I toyed around with some names and made it in another name. How do you call it? When you shuffle the letters from a few names and create a new name. But anyway, I want to write. And in the clips that you already saw from the previous day, I told you that I registered for the summer writing retreat from Abby Emmons. My planning was to participate in the live writing sessions that Abby Emmons organized, and that would be every Friday. Well, the first Friday I could attend was a day that I was so very tired. So that didn't happen, and last Friday I was a bit sick, so I didn't write that day either, but luckily I can rewatch those lives, and I've got already one opened on my second screen. I've written quite a while and a lot. I managed to write 2,505 words. Amazing! I finished chapter 22 and then I started chapter 24. That chapter I wrote in the sense of I had some bullet points with ideas that I wanted to write in the chapter, but I didn't write any dialogue or whatsoever. I just need a tiny bit at the ending, but I don't have time anymore and my brain isn't cooperating anymore. So I'm going to stop. The calendar from Abby is a little bit empty. Sorry, Abby. But I'm pleased with the words that I did write. And today was a good writing day. I've got some time left before I have to make some dinner, and it's Friday, so that means that we have our movie night as a family. I think I'm going to work on my seraph blade for a while. I need to do so much before Sunday, so everything at the last moment. I'm having some company today. My little assistant has left me. Now I need to write on my own again. I am pumped. I'm happy. I'm out of breath.